Welcome back to Backyard Science. My name is Liz, and today we are going to do a little tour of my neighborhood looking for some examples of urban wildlife. And we might not actually get to see some of the animals themselves, but we might see some evidence left behind.
So I'm going to just start really quickly with my backyard to show what my neighbors see when they walk by my house. We do a lot to try and encourage wildlife by putting out food for them and planting plants that will attract pollinators. So we do get a lot of birds, insects, chipmunks, squirrels, rabbits, and much more. And then of course, my dogs are outside a lot too. So I'm not always lucky enough to see the animal that has visited my backyard, but a lot of times I will still see evidence they left behind. I talked about this stump in a previous video several weeks ago, but there is a lot of signs animals have left behind after visiting it. Looking at the picture, can you guess who has been at this stump? Sadly, this year my roses were also visited by a less than friendly guest to my yard, and they munched on the buds and leaves. Who do you think might have eaten my roses? So this is where my neighborhood walk will begin. And let's see what kind of urban wildlife that we can find here. Most of the land you see here is one family-owned farm. They grow a variety of crops and raise several different types of animals. I was hopeful their cows would be out in the pasture today, but unfortunately they must be in the back field. However, this large field still allows for many different types of wild animals to live. Who do you think might be out here? It supports animals that live on the ground and who fly through the air. Make a list and count the number of animals that might be supported by this habitat. While on my walk, I was also lucky to spot what I believe is an egret, a large water bird, scoping out a small pond for some lunch. I was pretty excited to see it, so I took a lot of pictures of it. I'm always really surprised to see water birds in the neighborhood as there are only a few small ponds, but it's always a really nice treat, and it kind of just shows too how resilient animals can be, because even when there's only just a small portion of habitat that suits them, they're going to find it and kind of make it work for them. Unlike the pond with the egret, this is a man-made pond one of my neighbors built, and he has stocked it with some animals that he keeps as pets. However, this pond does get some wild visitors as well. Can you guess who might visit this pond? Who might like to be near water? Can you think of some animals that use water as a part of their life cycle? So he also has a couple of turtles that live in this pond, so I thought I would just show you a quick picture of them because they can be pretty cute. This is an image of my neighborhood from Google Earth, and I just wanted to use it to show the quick growth of homes recently in Washington County, shown here in red, and then the remainder of the image is Multnomah County. These subdivisions have all been built in the last 20 years, with the newest built less than 5 years ago. The reason I thought it was important to mention this is because the number of homes being built is putting pressure on wildlife to survive in an ever-decreasing space, so they have less area to live. But this doesn't mean it isn't possible. We've seen animals adapt and survive in urban environments. I think the most important thing is that as residents in suburban homes, we just need to be mindful that animals we may not typically expect to visit us will become more common over time.
Now that we've done a tour of my neighborhood, I want all of you to go do a tour of your neighborhood and see what mysteries you can find. See what sort of evidence you can find of urban wildlife or what wildlife you might actually get to see.